What's up guys, DRJ here, and today I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about how the auction house in Diablo 3 works. So before I get started, I want to apologize. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so you have to excuse my voice. Um, the big reason why I wanted to do this is because I've seen way too many people leveling up and are just severely undergeared, and this is one of the characters I'm currently leveling up on the way to 60. And I have smashed the content all the way there, and it is more than possible to get absurdly overgeared and do it on a budget. But the auction house is pretty confusing, so I wanted to run through some of the caveats that make it difficult to navigate. So to start off with, one of the things I wanted to show you guys is there's currently a stat limit right here. So one of the things that means is that even though there are multiple modifiers on weapons or whatever it is you're looking at, um, you can only search for 3 different stats. So if you want Vite, Int, Dex, and Gold Find, and Pickup Radius, and all that other stuff, you can't do it as of yet. You can only look for 3. I don't know how they decided on 3. Why not 2? Why not 4? But that's what they did. Um, so as you're leveling up, one of the big things that I can recommend is basically just look for anything that is your prime stat. So this is a wizard, so you're going to be looking for something that has intelligence and vitality on it. You need to do that. You plug those in, so then it brings up this. What you're going to notice too is that right off the bat, if you're looking for the highest DPS weapon, if you're searching for these stats, it's going to obviously limit your choices, lower the potential maximum DPS. But you can go through here and categorize it appropriately. So you want to look for DPS, or if you want to change it to buyout. These don't work additively, I guess. They don't combine, so you can't organize it for DPS and then while organized for DPS, then organize it according to buyout. It's one or the other. The minimum value over here is very valuable. It's kind of odd. So you can plug in, say, I don't know, I don't want to look at any items that don't have an intelligence value of anything less than 50. So one of the other caveats with that is that I'm trying to find an example of it. I don't know if anything's going to pop up. So right now it's showing me anything that has an intelligence value of at least 50 and higher. Unfortunately, what happens is it also takes into account the runes at the bottom. So what you'll often see is that once you start jacking these up or putting multiple values here in the boxes, that you'll see pieces of equipment that have a variety of sockets and just have a bunch of runes socketed in them. People are doing this on purpose, unfortunately, in order to get their items listed on as many pages as possible, even though they're more or less useless. One of the other interesting things to note is that there are item level cutoffs. So let's see, I will look for a offhand and a source. So let's see here, I think I want to look for a source. So say I'm level 13. So one of the things I want to look for is a source, say item level 12 to 15. So nothing's popping up, so what the heck? Maybe it's because they don't have any of these stats on them, so I can take the stats off. Okay, well, it's still not popping up. So what I'm trying to show you here is that there are item level cutoffs. What this means is that there are very specific levels as to when items appear and when they don't. So then I can raise the item level range, say 12 to 16, they're still not finding them. Raise it to 17. Okay, so now as you just saw, I have a whole bunch of them that just popped up. So what this means is that when you're trying to gear out your character, unfortunately, it means that you're not going to be able to go through every so many levels and just completely buy a brand new gear for that given level. You're going to have to buy gear basically for a variety of levels, plus or minus, 3 or 4 levels maybe. One of the other things to notice is that when you are trying to buy gear, actually I'll have to look for something that I'm currently using. So you can see that it pops up and it does this comparison, right? So it's going to show you the different statistics. But what it's not going to do, and this is a little unfortunate, is that when you're in game, if you mouse over a different item, it'll show you not only the different stats for the item you have equipped versus the item in your inventory, but it'll just show you the plus and minus damage, health, and all sorts of different stats like that. And currently it does not do this in the auction house, so it can be really, really difficult. If you can see, so right now you can see that I'm using a two-hander. It can be really difficult to figure out the DPS value. Say if you're searching for a one-hander and an offhand, will that one-hander and that attack speed bonus and the offhand damage be enough to offset the potential DPS of your two-hander. As of right now, there's no way to figure it out unless somebody out there has created some sort of Java applet or a web page or something designed to put in some values and run those numbers. There's no way to figure that out as opposed to just equipping it, so it can be a little frustrating. You'll also notice that right here you have auction 8 out of 10, so there's only 10 auctions you can have going at any one time, which is a little odd. Completed, this keeps a log of it. These are your auctions that you currently have going. So it gives you 5 minutes to cancel an auction, and after that 5 minutes, it's up for the full allotted time, which is, I think, a day or two. So it's really strange. It limits you to, like I said, 10 auctions, so I can sell 3 more items at this time, and then once they're up, once you have that 5-minute window has passed, you cannot cancel them until they're done. So it's a little strange. It can be frustrating. You find good things that you want to sell, and anyway, you may or may not have room for them, so you can either send them around to other characters, which gets to be a little frustrating, or I guess buy more spaces in your stash. It's a little strange. The other thing that can be really annoying is, as you can see here, maybe I want to sell this, but I can't because it's not hasn't been repaired yet. It needs to be repaired at full durability. There's no way to repair it here, so you have to do that in game. But if you're vendoring off a whole bunch of items, or putting things in your stash or breaking them down, maybe you want to put it in your stash before you do that because you don't want to accidentally sell it. Well, if you do that, then you might forget to repair it. Then you can't sell it here, so that's really frustrating. Hopefully they figure out a way to fix something like that in the future, more of a quality of life thing. Also, as you can see, if you run out of room in your stash, there's no way to move anything around. I can't move any of this stuff. I can sell it, but I can't actually move it around if you're out of room in your stash. So I think that quality of life improvement that would be great if they completed that in the future. I'm trying to think of what else I need to mention here. There's a max buyout price, which is really handy too. In my opinion, especially leveling up on the way to 60, the majority of gear that I bought is around, honestly, I set it around for a 3,000 maximum buyout. See, I'm level 54 at the moment. Let's see what we can do. 54 to 50. There's all sorts of two-handers being sold right now for 3,000 gold. You're not going to get the best of the best, but because you're out leveling things so fast, you don't necessarily need the best of the best. And like I said, there's no excuse to not be using the auction house as you're leveling up. Your DPS and health should be, it should be far exceeding the criteria of what you're going up against as you're leveling up. And it's sad to see that there's so many people that feel like they can't use the auction house, or they're lacking the gear and the stats because they're afraid, or they feel like they don't have the money or something like that. If you guys have any questions, comments, critiques, feel free to let me know and I'll do what I can to answer them.